Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the ranch. I'm Dr. Lee, and it is another beautiful day in South Texas. Although it is just a tad hot outside, however, it is July 31st, so that's kind of par for the course in South Texas. No disappointment there with the heat index either. But anyway, I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope you enjoyed the little baby deer video. As promised, Dr. Lee delivers, right? Right. And if you like that, you will be happy to know that there's a reason for putting up with my rambling, because that's only half of it. There's another half to come later in the video. I would call that first segment that you just watched something like the rambunctious reel. And the reel we're going to watch later is much more laid back and relaxed and kind of sweet. So I think you will like it too. Anyway, it's been hot out here. This is a video from a trail cam, and the only reason I put it on here is look at the temperature in the lower left corner there. Yes, it has been warm. We did get some rains, some of the late June rains, and sometimes we get them, sometimes we don't. And if we don't get them, we usually don't see any more rain until mid to late September, unless there's a hurricane. And last week we had a hurricane. Came across Corpus Christi and pretty much an east to west path, so it stayed below us. It didn't come up north like a lot of them do. So we got a grand total of about 0.6 inches of rain, and about all that did is it made our 96-degree highs each day about 96% humid too. It was quite brutal there for a while, but not complaining. We'll take rain anytime we get it. Anytime we can get it. But anyway, guys, once again, I'm glad you're here. Welcome back to the ranch. I always enjoy our time together. Always enjoy visiting with you. And I really look forward to hearing what you've been up to. So leave me some comments down below. Let me know what's going on in your world too. Other than that, it's just been regular work around the ranch. I showed you the log that I cut up and had to get off the road last week when y'all made fun of my dog, my attack dog, Marty. And it's just been stuff like that. And unfortunately, my computer is in the process of trying to break down, and I'm having trouble loading videos onto it to get them onto Adobe Premiere so I can load it up onto YouTube. So a lot of the stuff that I've done, I've videoed, but I couldn't put it up here. Had a water line break at Uncle Floyd's house that I repaired, and I could not load that up. It leaked 100,000 gallons onto his yard there, and it generated a $781 water bill too in the process. However, I called the city and they said, you know, they sent me a form. I got to fill it all out and show that I got everything repaired, and they said that they would give me some compensation on it. So I thought that was cool. And let's see, also other things, and I do have video of this. For some reason, these pictures would load, the video would not. Had a deer feeder go south on me, and the timer failed on it, and it threw out 150 pounds of corn on the ground. So first time I've had that in 15 years, and I've been using these timers the whole time. It's the first time I ever had one of them fail, excuse me. So I called the manufacturer out in Odessa, Texas. It's called West Texas Feeder Supply, I believe. And they sent me a brand new one promptly in the mail. Had it within a few days, and they took care of me. They didn't send me 150 pounds of corn to replace what was on the ground, but I guess the deer enjoyed that part. But nevertheless, I wouldn't hesitate to ever use those guys again, because they really took care of an issue. You know, and I was in small business, and not every day is perfect when you're in small business, if you know what I mean. But other than that, guys, let's see what else has been going on. I guess I should say, talking about my computer, it's failed, and I'm just praying that I can get the video I'm making right now, this video where you and I are chatting. I'm hoping it'll load up, because if it doesn't, it's going to be a couple of weeks where I can get all these baby deer loaded up. And I promised it to you a couple of weeks ago, so I hope I can deliver. And it sounds like I'm about to lose my voice too, so this is going to be an even better video than usual. But anyway, I did order a new, and I've got the parts already, so I just need to load them up. But I've got to get all the memory out of my computer, store everything, save everything. But I got a new 1 terabyte solid, for you geeks, I got a new 1 terabyte solid state hard drive to go with I've got a 4 terabyte analog device in there just for saving stuff, and another 1 terabyte solid state unit that's full too. So those will be in there just for memory and saving things. And then this will just be my operating system. But I've also got a new Windows 10 to put in it, and a new card reader. So hopefully with those 3 things, and for you geeks out there, if I'm missing something, let me know before I get in there and get all this stuff put together, only to have the same problem, because I was just having difficulty loading videos onto Adobe Premiere. So anyway, okay, enough tech stuff. That's about as much tech savvy as I've got in my brain. So but like I said, had a lot of work going on. I did have a lot of help, and here's my buddy that helped me a lot. And kind of interesting, he was on the 4-wheeler with me. We were gathering up the SD cards, and you can kind of hear on this second one, you can hear it as we drive up, he's talking about something. And I went back and listened, and what he was talking about, we'd seen some of Mark's things that Mark had built down on the creek, and we were talking about Mark. And as we were coming back up to that second feeder, it's got an audio recorder on it as well. And you can hear Lincoln say, "I pray for Uncle Mark and Mr. Jake every night before bed, and I pray for their families too." So anyway, I thought that was sweet, and I thought, man, anytime you've got a 6-year-old grandson that will come up and tell you that just out of the clear blue, I think the parenting thing is working pretty good with him. So this makes me even more proud of his parents when I hear that coming out of him. Just appreciation. And all the wildlife seems to be doing quite well. We got a picture of a little Rio Grande turkey here, and we're seeing a lot of them, seeing a flock of them now. And we usually don't see them this time of year, so I'm not sure what's up with that. Maybe it's the fact that we're not seeing coyotes, and these guys have just kind of moved back into the area, but they're always welcome. We also see a few armadillos every now and then, and people always ask me, do they really have armadillo races in Texas at the county fairs? And I say, yes, they most certainly do. And I said, and at night out on the ranches, the armadillos practice. So there you go. Also see the occasional possum or two, which always reminds me of a story. Mark or Matt, I don't recall which, came home from school one day, and they said, Dad, guess what? And I said, what? And they said, at school, when you spell possum, they start it with an O. And I said, oh, you poor little country bumpkin. But anyway, that's one of those things you'll never forget, you know, that your kids tell you. But let's see, possums are out there. Also, how many critters do you see in this video right here? If you look hard, you'll see 4. There's 2 side-by-side tails hanging down from where the little masked bandits have gone up there to steal the corn. The deer are quite obvious. And also, people talk about raccoons about being very crafty and very agile, but look at this one trying to get up the ladder. I don't know, that looks like me and some of the things I get into, but I guess our raccoons out here aren't quite as adept as some of your raccoons. But anyway, that's kind of what's been going on out here on the ranch. We also have been seeing a lot of foxes. We see gray foxes, don't see many red foxes anymore. Used to see a lot of them, but not now. It's almost all gray foxes, and they're kind of like the raccoons. They'll do anything to steal food. And here's one getting into the hog trap. Went in the hog trap and got right back out the same way it went in, I'm sure. We didn't get a video of it coming out, but we just one going in. But anyway, they're cool little animals, and we see them all over the place. All right, let's see what else we got for you today. Do other YouTubers keep notes? Man, I have to go by notes. Maybe they're not as old as I am and don't require cheat sheets. But one other thing about the gray foxes, and that is we see them in our backyard in the fig trees all the time, climbing up there to get figs. And I'll tell people about that, and they go, foxes don't climb trees. Well, here's a little bit of, it's not absolute proof, but you can see in this video, you can see the limbs shaking in this tree, and then the very next minute, the limbs are kind of slowing down from shaking, and you'll see a little fox come out from under it. So I'm pretty sure that fox was up in that tree. You know, they'll get up and get bird eggs and things like that. So. And as you all know, this ranch is dedicated to taking care of indigenous species of animals and plants. And we see a lot of and indigenous means native, and we see a lot of non-indigenous species out here too. This one's welcome, and this one's not. But then again, this one is teenage boys, and they're fishing. So, 2 things they like to do, teenage boys: fish and trespass. So I guess that's just part of the game. Here is another non-indigenous species that we do not like to see, and these guys are just getting more and more problematic. The numbers are getting greater and greater, and we get them eradicated every 1 to 2 years, and they come back faster, and they come back more numerous, and it almost seems more destructive with each pass. But trying to figure out what to do with them the other day, and you know, in the last 2, this will be the 3rd video, I've brought up the fact that we do have killer bunnies out here. And you know, I just thought, after I saw this picture of the largest jackrabbit I have ever seen, not only on this ranch but anywhere, I mean, look at the size of this dude. He is bigger than a beagle. And I got to thinking, if we could get the killer bunnies and train these 40-pound jackrabbits to act like a killer bunny, I think we may have a solution to our hog problem out here. So I'm going to be working on that. I'll let you know how it comes around. And you know, training these jackrabbits to be killer bunnies, you know, it may be I may turn it into a business. You know, we could call it, what? Dr. Lee's solution to the porcine revolution. I don't know. Think of a good name and put it down in the comments. We'll figure it out. Anyway, I'll let you know how that works out. I am sorry. Here I am again, rambling. I know you wanted to tune in to Ramble on the Ranch with Dr. Lee today, right? Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly why you came here. Nevertheless, guys, here comes the other half of the baby deer video. I think you'll like it too. Are you ready? Here we go. Well, what did you think about that? Pretty cute, huh? Especially that little baby calling his mama there at the very end. I thought that was pretty cool. Anyway, guys, that's about it, man. It's hot and I am sweating and I am about ready to go back in the house. So once again, I thank you for stopping by and tuning in today. And I've had a lot of private messages. We do have a lot of brothers and sisters here on this channel that are in dire straits. A lot of them are really sick, and then a lot of them have lost their jobs and are really worried about what's going on. A lot of them have family in trouble. So let's take care of each other. Let's pray for one another. Let's keep each other in our minds and in our hearts, and let's love one another like we're supposed to. And also, folks, there's something I'd like to bring up that I'm not very proud of, but it's just one of those housekeeping things I need to do. And I've made 130, 140 videos, and I don't recall, maybe I have, but I don't recall ever asking anybody to subscribe. I don't recall ever asking anybody to like a video. I've never asked anyone to share a video. But I'm changing that today for a one-time deal, and I'll tell you where I'm headed with this. I've got about 9 cameras out on the ranch right now, and if you'll notice in these videos, I only used about 4 or 5 of them, and that's because about 4 of them are failing. And I would like to get those replaced, and honestly I'd like to have about 5 to 10 more, because if I had somewhere between 15 and 20 cameras on this ranch, I could double the amount of wildlife footage that, or the content that I show you guys in these videos. So I think it would really pay off. And unfortunately, these cameras cost between 150 to 200 bucks a piece, especially the good ones that have sound on them. And that turns into a whole lot of money. So someone that I know dearly, and you do too, recommended me. He said, what you need to do is contact these companies, and he said they'll send you the cameras for free in most cases, if you get your numbers up a little bit. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'd like to get the numbers up. So if you're not subscribed, I would appreciate it if you'd subscribe. If you don't mind liking the video, that would be a +2. And more importantly, if you would share this video. If you have friends or family that like animals, like wildlife, like this kind of stuff, please just share it to them and ask them if they want to subscribe to please do so. Because I'm going to contact one of these companies, Moultrie to start with, because I really love their cameras. I'm going to contact them and see if they'll send me some free cameras. And if I can get the counts and the numbers up even more, then that my success would be more likely. So anyway, with a little shame and a little guilt, I ask you for that favor, and I appreciate you complying. So thank you very much for that. Anyway, guys, that's about it from out here on the ranch. Please remember, we have a lot of our brothers and sisters that are not doing well right now. A lot of them are not healthy. A lot of them have a lot of financial problems because of all the tumultuous things that our world is going through these days. So remember your brothers and sisters. Let's pray for them. Let's keep them in our minds and in our hearts. And most above anything else, let's love them. So anyway, guys, that's where we are. So with no further ado, God bless you all. Like they used to say back when I was a kid, God bless your little pea-picking heart. Like Uncle Floyd used to say, God bless your little pointy head. And that's about it from out here on the ranch. Thanks a lot for stopping by. Always remember, I love you, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye now.